and ponder the question, what if?
Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan Airy, and we are going to be recapping all 9 episodes of What If Season 1. So whether you've never seen the show, you missed an episode here or there, or you just want a refresher before going into Season 2, this is the video for you. What If gives us a glimpse into the observations of Uatu the Watcher as he looks at variant realities across the Marvel multiverse, exploring the infinite possibilities that can stem from a single choice.
A single choice created a whole new hero.
Our first What If scenario picks up in a universe where Peggy Carter becomes Captain America, or more accurately, Captain Carter.
The name's Captain Carter.
In this other universe, instead of Steve Rogers getting the super soldier serum, it's Peggy Carter who undergoes this experiment.
Did it work?
And then some.
The episode parallels in many ways Cap's first film, The First Avenger, showing Captain Carter taking the place of Steve and going up against Hydra and going toe-to-toe with the Red Skull. But Steve Rogers isn't completely taken out of the action. We see him don a big Iron Man-like suit called the Hydra Stomper, created by Tony Stark's father, Howard Stark.
Stark made me some new dancing shoes. What do you think?
And come the end of the episode, like the end of First Avenger, we see Captain Carter transported to the present day. In The First Avenger, Steve Rogers makes the ultimate sacrifice and sinks his plane into the ocean along with the Tesseract. In this universe, however, Captain Carter sacrifices herself by pushing this giant interdimensional Kraken-type monster back into the Tesseract.
You owe me a dance lesson.
Yes! Saturday night!
Captain Carter is then pulled through time and space and exits the Tesseract 70 years later in the same compound where we saw Loki enter in the Avengers. We even get a fun nod to that scene when Fury asks Peggy to put down the sword.
Ma'am, please put down the sword.
Sir, please put down the spear.
Hey Doug, I'm gonna have lunch. Do you want some?
Person, are those my dog treats?
Yeah, they are.
Did you finish my dog treats?
Yes, I did.
You gotta get better at cooking people food.
Well, yeah, I could get better at cooking, or I could eat this delicious, nutritious meal from Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit and the sponsor of this video.
Oh yeah, now see, that smells amazing.
Thanks, man. This is a peanut Buddha bowl with cilantro quinoa, gochu guru spiced peanuts, and sesame broccoli.
What's gochu guru?
I have no idea, and that's one thing I really love about Factor. I get sent delicious food like apple Dijon pork chops or cranberry pecan chicken, but I can also try foods that I would have never even known to order from a restaurant, let alone to cook for myself. Plus, it's extremely healthy. Factor makes it easy to have a balanced diet because their chefs work hand in hand with dietitians to create more than 34 chef-prepared meals. You can also tailor the meals to your lifestyle, keto, vegan, or if you're trying to bulk up, they have a Protein Plus selection with 30 more grams of protein or more per serving. This month, I even got their chocolate banana protein shakes because I have been working out a lot more and I got tired of buying so much fruit to make smoothies and protein shakes of my own. Plus, guys, their food is absolutely delicious. Choo choo choo. So Factor meals let you skip the grocery store. They're delivered straight to your front door, always fresh, never frozen. The meals are ready in just 2 minutes and are only around 550 calories per serving. Plus, it is way cheaper than takeout.
You have money, right?
So I've been using Factor for about a year now, and I can't believe how much it's improved my life. I'm eating a lot better, especially on really busy days when normally I would just run into the kitchen and steal Doug's treats. But now, Factor meals help me to get through my day with no hassle, just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. So guys, you have to give Factor a try. Head to Factor75.com and use my promo code ScreenCrush50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Thanks again to Factor for sponsoring this video. Now, back to What If. The second episode shows us a reality where it's a young T'Challa who's abducted by Yondu as a young boy instead of Peter Quill, making it to where T'Challa goes on to become the legendary Star-Lord instead of the Black Panther. We even get a great recreation of the opening scene of the first Guardians film when Star-Lord was introduced.
Star-Lord, I'm a huge fan of your work.
That was not the reaction I was expecting.
T'Challa coming from a line of kings and in many other universes becoming a king himself results in us getting a very different Star-Lord. A Star-Lord who uses skills of diplomacy to reconcile conflicts throughout the galaxy. The most notable being his interaction with the Mad Titan, Thanos.
T'Challa here showed me there was more than one way to reallocate the universe's resources.
In this episode, we see T'Challa and the Ravagers go up against the Collector and the Black Order, who now work for the Collector instead of for Thanos. We also get to spend some time with Howard the Duck and learn that T'Challa's father has been searching for him for all these years. And after defeating the Collector, T'Challa returns to Earth and is reunited with his family. We're then reminded that just because T'Challa took Peter Quill's place as Star-Lord, he didn't take his place as Ego's son.
Can't spare a little time for dear old dad.
And guys, before I hit episode 3, I want to thank you very much for clicking this video, for watching us, supporting our channel, and if you want to continue to support our channel, we do have a merch store at ScreenCrushMerch.com where we design all of the shirts ourselves. And we've just introduced some new items we're really proud of. We have a Doug ornament showing him as Hermie the Elf, a parody from Rudolph. We also have this Where He Goes I Go shirt showing Den and Grogu like E.T. and Elliot riding across the moon. And of course we have this Fraser Beast shirt celebrating Kelsey Grammer's return as Beast. Not to mention that for the next few days, for a very limited time only, you can get your very own Doug plushie to take home with you. Now, this little guy is a specialty item. Each one of them is handmade. We're doing this in partnership with Makeship. The link for that is below. The campaign is like just about to end. I think by the time this video posts, it'll be like you're just, if you want one, you got to get it now.
Yeah, go ahead and get me now. I am so cute. I hate you.
So, what if episode 3, where we enter a universe where the Avengers never assembled? They were all assassinated by a villainous Hank Pym, burdened by grief for the death of his daughter, Hope Van Dyne.
She died because S.H.I.E.L.D. killed her. She died because of you.
The episode opens with this scene from Iron Man 2 where Fury and Black Widow have their donut shop meetup with Tony Stark. Only in this universe, Tony never leaves that donut shop.
Stark, you okay? Stark.
Tony.
We also revisit this scene from the first Thor film where we see the death of Thor and Hawkeye.
Barton.
We then get to revisit The Incredible Hulk, and it's really cool seeing an animated Mark Ruffalo in this film setting, considering that it was Edward Norton who played the character in that movie. Oh, and Hulk blows up.
Man, all this stuff's happening really fast.
Yeah, dude, because like all this stuff in Phase 1 happened within the same week. They called it Fury's Big Week. So, after the death of Thor, Loki and an Asgardian army arrive on Earth to avenge his brother's death.
An agent of this planet murdered Thor, Odin's son, the crown prince of Asgard, and your planet will be taken as retribution.
Instead of Nick Fury and Black Widow forming the Avengers, we get to see them investigate the deaths of these would-be Avengers members. When Fury and Widow discover that the killer is none other than Hank Pym seeking revenge on Fury, Loki arrives and defeats him for killing his brother. And then he goes on to give a speech at the UN, just like T'Challa at the end of Black Panther. And the episode ends with Fury still having a plan to form a team of heroes to protect the planet. He recruits Captain Marvel and discovers Captain America frozen in ice.
Welcome back, Captain.
Next came arguably the best episode of this season, What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart instead of his hands? In this universe, Stephen Strange still gets in a brutal car accident, but instead of losing his hands, he loses the love of his life, Dr. Christine Palmer.
Oh no, Christine.
After her death, Strange goes down a similar path to his main MCU counterpart and becomes a master of the mystic arts. But he can't let go of Christine, and he begins to ponder using his abilities to travel back in time and to save her life. Strange tries over and over again to rewrite the events of that night, but no matter what, Christine always dies. This is when the Ancient One arrives and explains to Strange that Christine's death was an absolute point in time. Strange refuses to accept that Christine has to die and begins studying various ancient texts and absorbing the powers of mythical creatures in his attempt to resurrect Christine, eventually leading him to becoming Doctor Strange Supreme. In the splintered reality that was created in this duel with the Ancient One, we see another Doctor Strange who decided against altering time to resurrect Christine. Despite this Strange choosing not to follow the path of his grief-ridden variant, he still sees his reality begin to break. The Ancient One explains that an alternate version of Strange, Strange Supreme, is tampering with time and space and causing the death of an entire reality. So Strange goes to fight his evil counterpart, and Strange Supreme defeats him and then absorbs him into himself like the other beings before him. Strange Supreme then succeeds in reversing the absolute point in time, and he resurrects Christine.
I brought you back. I saved you.
No, this isn't real.
But not too long after, this universe begins to die all over again. Strange Supreme breaking this absolute point in time will now result in the entire reality dying, similar to what we saw happen in Across the Spider-Verse when they disrupted a canon event. Strange Supreme begs with the Watcher to undo this mistake and save the universe, but he can't interfere. Not only on principle, but his interfering could risk the safety of other realities.
But I can't interfere. Meddling with time and events only leads to more destruction.
In another reality, we venture to the quantum realm with Hank Pym as he goes to find Janet. But when he does, he discovers that her brain has been mutated by a quantum virus. This episode opens with Hulk, and shortly thereafter we see Thanos' Black Order arrive seeking the Time Stone.
You are about to die at the hands of the children of Thanos.
Now, keep in mind that in the main MCU, the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp happened just before the events of Infinity War, so it lines up perfectly with the entire planet now being zombie-plagued come the time of Infinity War. Tony Stark, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Wong, and many other Avengers have become zombies, and right as Bruce Banner is about to be attacked, we see Spider-Man swing in wearing Doctor Strange's red cloak.
Don't eat me, don't eat me, don't eat me.
Relax. I'm just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh yeah? Well then, what the hell happened to the neighborhood?
Peter takes Bruce to a hideout with Hope Van Dyne, Bucky Barnes, Okoye, Happy Hogan, Kurt Gorster, and Sharon Carter. On the group's way to find a cure, Hope gets infected with the virus and sacrifices herself by going giant mode and holding back zombies so the group can reach the cure. At this new location, they find Vision and a severed head of Scott Lang.
Hey! I know what you're thinking. I've lost weight. Thank you for noticing.
Vision thinks it's possible that the Mind Stone within his cranium can cure the zombie virus, but shortly thereafter we learn that Vision isn't doing all this research to save humanity, he's doing it to save Wanda.
Our powers are too strong. They've resisted the treatment. The only course of action is to contain her.
It turns out that while Vision works on perfecting this cure for Wanda, he's been feeding her human flesh, including a severed leg from T'Challa.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, dude, it is pretty messed up.
He's been keeping him alive to feed his zombie bride.
Vision does, however, end up having a change of heart and rips the Mind Stone out of his own skull, similar to how Thanos did in Infinity War. Peter then takes the Mind Stone, so he and T'Challa and Scott Lang, who, by the way, Scott Lang's head is now being carried around by Strange's cloak, all of them go to Wakanda to try to broadcast the Mind Stone signal and cure the virus. But waiting for them in Wakanda is a zombie Thanos who has successfully collected 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones and is now seeking that final stone, the Mind Stone. Jumping to another universe, we go back to where it all began, the opening of 2008's Iron Man. Here, Tony Stark is saved from his attackers by Killmonger.
That was a spectacular entrance, seriously.
The 10 rings have reinforcements en route. We need to move now.
So this results in Tony never becoming Iron Man, and he and Eric become great friends. Killmonger winds up betraying Tony, and he kills T'Challa, Rhodey, and eventually Tony Stark himself.
The difference between you and me, that you can't see the difference between you and me.
Killmonger then initiates a war between the United States and Wakanda that he plays both sides of. The episode ends with Killmonger being made the new Black Panther, but back in the US, we see Shuri and Pepper Potts team up and begin initiating a plan to take down Killmonger. Meanwhile, in another reality, we learned that Odin returned Loki to the Frost Giants as a baby and explores the question of what if Thor were an only child. And the thing I love most about this episode is how crucial it shows Loki is to Thor becoming the hero that we know and love. In this universe, though, Thor travels to Earth, more specifically to Las Vegas.
Prepare yourselves for the Party Prince!
At Thor's party, we see Skrulls, the Guardians, the Grandmaster, Howard the Duck, Surtur, and even a frost giant Loki.
Bring it on in. I can't believe you came, Loki. You are the absolute best.
After Thor and company throw a ruckus on Earth, we see Maria Hill call in Captain Marvel using the same pager we saw Nick Fury use in Avengers Infinity War. Now, Captain Marvel is unable to stop Thor, so they turn to the next best thing, his mom. When Thor learns that his mother is coming to Earth, he convinces everyone to help him clean up the planet like they found it. And it's so funny how they were able to take the trope of a teenager cleaning up the house after having a major party and then transferring that to a global scale.
Thor. Oh, hello, Mother. Good to see you. Welcome to our study group.
Now, at the end of the episode, we see Thor encounter Infinity Ultron, a version of the character who won Avengers Age of Ultron and now has all 6 Infinity Stones. The following episode picks up in the reality that Ultron came from and shows us how he achieved his multiversal travel. In this universe, Ultron gets his body that originally went to Vision. Ultron has defeated the Avengers and taken over the world. When Ultron completes his mission, we see Thanos arrive on Earth to collect the Mind Stone.
Fascinating.
Ultron then goes beyond Earth and begins conquering and destroying every reality in his universe.
It's done.
After destroying every life in his universe, Ultron becomes lonely and feels purposeless. That is, until he reaches a level of consciousness that allows him to sense the Watcher.
He became aware of the... I see you.
The Watcher wants to help Black Widow and Hawkeye discover the secret to defeating Ultron, but he knows that he cannot interfere. Black Widow does eventually find the file revealing the key to destroying Ultron, but it's too late, and Ultron has broken through the boundaries of his universe and entered the realm of the Watcher.
I finally found you.
The Watcher and Infinity Ultron battle throughout realities, but Ultron proves to be too powerful even for the Watcher. The Watcher then goes to find Strange Supreme and asks him for help.
I see now. I need your help.
The Watcher then goes on to form a multiversal team of heroes by pulling in characters from previous episodes of the season. And there was actually an episode of What If Season 1 that was supposed to have come out prior to the finale, featuring Tony Stark and Gamora. The same Tony and Gamora that we see recruited in this season finale. And we're going to get to see that episode in the second season, which is starting to air December 22nd and premiering nightly throughout December 30th.
Wait, so they're dropping episodes on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Yep.
Well, man, I can't work Christmas. You're going to be on your own.
But sir, it's Christmas.
Bah, humbug.
Ah, that sucks. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to be here either. Colton Ogburn's going to be filling in for us during that covering What If, and he's going to do a great job. Anyways, the Guardians of the Multiverse come together to take on and defeat Infinity Ultron, and long story short, an AI consciousness of Arnim Zola takes over Ultron's body, and he and Killmonger begin to battle over the Infinity Stones, and then they get trapped in this pocket dimension that's being overseen by Strange Supreme.
If that pocket dimension cracks, if they escape,
I'll watch. I have nothing but time.
The other heroes return to their home universes after their battle with Ultron, except for Black Widow, who goes to a universe that lost their Black Widow.
Where are we?
on a world that lost their widow.
And just a reminder, everyone, to take the hassle out of eating healthy, give Factor a try. Head to Factor75.com and use my promo code ScreenCrush50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Well, guys, are you excited for this new season of What If? Is there anything in the recap we should have talked about? Big shout out to the writer of this video, Mr. Colton Ogburn. If there's something we left out, you can let him know in the comments below or at either of us on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.